I thought earning £500,000 would bring me peace of mind, but it just brought me a noisier head and a more expensive way to avoid myself. When I was 30, I had just come back from traveling South America. And in that moment, I felt like I had two options: to pursue my career in real estate, property in London, or to move to a paradise beach and get a job in a coffee shop and just live a peaceful life by the sea. And when I spoke to my family, of course, they thought moving to the paradise beach seemed a bit crazy. And personally, I did as well. Because deep inside of me, I had this belief that it was my time to hustle, it was my time to build, and I had a good path ahead of me. I could see how I could make money, have a nice car, buy a nice house, and get all the things that I had dreamed of as a child. So I pursued that lifestyle. 6 years later, I packed it all in. I had made over 500,000, and if anything, I was less happy than I was before. And obviously, I don't regret my decision or my choices, because if I hadn't have experienced that, then I wouldn't be the person that I am today. But I can tell you that making that money, driving the nice cars, living in the nice house, going to luxury restaurants and bars and living that lifestyle, it didn't bring me any peace. It didn't bring me any happiness. If anything, it made me more stressed. It increased my anxiety. I started having panic attacks, and I ended up about 5 years in being diagnosed with depression. And that's not to say that making those decisions and choosing that path is the wrong choice. It's completely up to you how you live your life. But my reflection on the time that I lived is that I got too obsessed. I was too absorbed in what I was doing. I didn't allow myself the time or the space to breathe, to observe what I was doing, and make choices from a place of clarity and calm. Instead, I was absorbed in this hustle and bustle mentality, this work hard and grind until I had nothing left. I would work 6, sometimes 7 day weeks, 12, 14, 16-hour days. I'd be in the gym at 5 a.m. every morning because I thought that was healthy. But all I was doing was just driving myself into nothing, trying to prove my worth, trying to be accepted into society, into friendship groups, to be accepted into life as I knew it. And the truth is that it's a nice way to live life, to have money and live that lifestyle. But there's different ways of making money. There's different ways of living life. And now, as I work with business owners and founders and busy entrepreneurs, they're also at that same point where they've made all the money that they thought would make them happy, but they still feel like something is missing. And if you're watching this video, then perhaps you've read all the books, you've done the courses, perhaps you've worked with coaches and therapists. And no matter what you do, no matter what mindset hacks, productivity hacks that you've tried, it still feels like you're pushing uphill. There's this friction there. There isn't that peace of mind. There isn't that clarity. And I realize now that you don't have a problem with your personality, you don't have a problem with your mindset. What you do have a problem with is your identity. And this is the struggle I had through most of my life, is that I identified as this person who needed to struggle, who needed to work hard to succeed. And even when people do succeed, they can't get rid of this identity, this seeing themselves as this person who has to continue to hustle and grind to prove that they are worthy. They constantly put this pressure on themselves, and often it's not from other people. Some people might say it's from family or from society, but most people I speak to, the pressure is internal, it's coming from themselves. It's to prove the younger version of themselves that they can do it, that they are capable. But this pushing and proving, it just ends up in stress, in headache, in exhaustion. Because no matter what you try, it doesn't seem to work. Because you become fixated on changing things in the external world, changing your strategy, changing your approach. But really, the shift that needs to be done, the shift that needs to happen is on the internal. So, where do you go from here? You have a choice. You can keep running on these unconscious patterns, these loops, these cycles. Well, my invitation to you is to give yourself some space, to go within. And for me, on my journey, I ended up quitting. I gave up everything I had in London. I moved to Asia. I lived with monks. I studied with yogis and gurus. I trained with somatic practitioners. And it wasn't an easy journey. I'm not saying that you can just flick the switch and go from this hustle to peace mentality. It took me a long time to work through this. But there are quicker ways as well. And once you can get to the root cause of what it is that's creating those patterns, what's driving your behavior, then you can start to make subtle shifts to start shifting your whole world. So you can start being in control again. So you can be calm and make decisions from clarity without second guessing yourself, without overthinking, without lying in bed at night wondering, did I make the right call? Have I done that thing yet? Instead, you can just, imagine waking up feeling steady, feeling like everything is under control. Going through your day, everything is organized, and even when the shit hits the fan, you handle it with calm, composure. And by the end of the day, you can close your laptop and you can also close your mind. Be present for your loved ones and then switch off and have a good night's sleep. If that sounds like the type of lifestyle that you'd like to lead, I have opened up my calendar for some 20-minute conversations. And this isn't a sales pitch, and I'm not going to try and fix you. It's just a space for us to have a conversation and help you identify the patterns, the loops, and the cycles that you've got caught in. Because until you become aware of these patterns, you will keep living that same life. But once you can get to the root, once you understand why you are doing what you are doing, then everything opens up. If that sounds good to you, you can find the link in the description below. Otherwise, I'll be sharing some more videos soon on helping you find your calm, get more clarity, and be in control of your life. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.